All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the $1 Million Speaker Breakthrough Session. This is a bonus session after the event, $1 Million Speaker Summit, which was a couple of weeks ago. And there's always more to teach and always more to learn. So I hope everything's settled and you've kind of still are on that $1 million high that you were when you left the event. So today and session on Thursday, just going to be a little mini course. Now, there's so much to teach, and I know I've crammed a lot of information into those 3 days, but one of the things that I couldn't really have time to talk about is really moving your audience to action. You see, if you want to sell something in this environment, or if you want people to move to action to sign up for, generate leads or whatever you want, a free gift, we have to know how to move them to action. Now, moving people to action in the virtual world is different than, and I should unplug my phone, I'm sorry. I broke my own etiquette. I did put my dogs away though. But we need to know how to move people to action. That's really important. And one of the things early on, now I've been in business as I've shared with you before, over 17 years. And I remember early on, I created a passionately speaking course, which many of you are in that course. It's a group coaching. We meet once a week. Actually, we meet at 4 o'clock right after this meeting. And I didn't have it at first, right? When I first started my business, I had coaching, right? Hi, Virginia, good to see you. I had coaching and, I'd do dabble here and there. And I remember one time this guy said to me after our coaching time, he said, well, what's next, right? And I went, I got nothing. Now, of course, I've got group coaching clear on up to the $1 Million Mastermind. But it all starts with one program. And it all starts with learning also how to sell that program. So I created the Passionately Speaking program, sold it for $500, and I calculated since that time, I've made on that one program alone over $500,000, right? You just never know. So what we have to do is not only create our different programs, because some people can't, afford maybe private coaching, so they want to do more group coaching. So it can be a 6-week course, a month course, a 3-month course, whatever it is you want to create. But you have to know how to move your audience to action. And that's what we're going to talk today. That was the missing link that I didn't have time to cover. All right, and I see Luana here. Luana, take the bag off of your head, girl. Take the bag off of your head, right?
I don't think your audience wants to see me eating. As soon as I finish, okay. I'll take the bag off.
All right, because I remember how pretty you looked the last time I saw you. Remember?
Thank you.
You had that pink on and pink rosy cheeks. It was awesome. All right, good. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today for the next, about 50 minutes. So let me share my screen. I'm all ready. Are there any questions before I continue? Any questions about what we're going to cover, the $1 million or anything? And I know, don't feel bad if you weren't at the $1 million. No, you should really feel bad. No, don't feel bad, Sandy. No, it's Sandy's been at the $1 million. Now, one thing I missed about not having Sandy there is because last year she was like my what do you call it? My person that kept me coming back from breaks on time, because what would happen is in a live event, you'd walk down the hall and then people would, latch on you and ask you questions and want pictures and all that. And the year before it was like, I couldn't make it back to the stage because, all of the people and that kind of thing. So Sandy was my right-hand person and she'd like move me through and, okay, we got to go. And so I really missed that, even though I didn't need that this year, but yeah. So Sammy's been, I think, almost all the $1 million. Yep. Anyway, it's good to see you. All right, so we're going to get started. Okay. Hold on just a moment. Let me put my glasses on. All right, and I'm going to share the screen. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to share. There we go. That's what I wanted to share. All right. So the $1 million speaker breakthrough, really having that breakthrough of aha, that's how I move people to action. Because we talked about closing, but we didn't really, and we talked about building rapport, right? But we didn't talk about, well, what do you have to do in between the rapport building and getting them to move to action before, during your close or before your close, getting them to want to move to action. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. Now, most all of you know me. I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't know me. If there is somebody here that doesn't know me, put that in the chat. But all of you know me. You know that, I've given over 3,500 speeches all over the world. I've trained over 5,000 business owners, given over 700 live events, 30 years of speaking, 17 years, blah, 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 blah. So, and the people that I've shared the stage with, and I'm so excited because recently I just shared the stage with Les Brown and Brian Tracy. This is since the $1 million. So that was really exciting. All right. You know about my family, my 2 children, my husband and I, and Zeus and Zoe. We got them at 8 weeks. Now they're 8 years old. Zoe's taken over the couch. Or Zeus has taken over the bed. And since the pandemic, Zeus has a little drinking problem. All right. So my outcomes for today and for next Thursday is just to really share some powerful information that you could take action on and to motivate you to speak and sell out of the box when you're in the box. There's some different things that we have to do in this particular environment. And of course, invite you to learn more about virtual speaking. There's always more. And I'm just so thrilled that all of you are here, that you've been following me for a while, that you've come to a lot of my events, because I've got more and more and more to share. All right, so we're going to spell out the word actions. And I know, Jackie, you've heard this one before, but I've changed it a little bit. But you know what? Sometimes we have to hear things 7, 8 times before it goes in at a cellular level where we actually know and can do it and become that script. So even if you've heard this particular message before, and Luana's heard it as well, there's always room for more. Okay. So we're going to spell out the acronym ACTIONS, because that's what today's all about, is moving your audience to take action. Without the action, there's no sales. Without the action, there are no leads. Nothing happens if they don't take action. Now, when we talk about goals, we talk about GSA, goal, strategy, action, and none of the goals that you make would ever happen if it wasn't for the action. The goal, setting the goal is great. Taking the, mapping out the strategy is great, but without that action, that goal will not happen. Same here with selling from the platform. Okay, so action. We want to, the A is for audience participation and love. I want to really emphasize the love part, because we have to love on our audience when we're asking them to take action. So we want them to come and chat in the chat box, and some of you, you're very experienced, you're starting to chat in the chat box. So good job for that. Keep doing that. But one of the things I like to do, and I didn't today because I know all of you and where you are, but when it's a more of a webinar where I can't see you, then it's a good idea to ask people to write in the chat box where they're from. So why don't we just do that? So just write in the chat box your name and where you are Zooming from, so that other people, I know where you are, but other people don't know where you are. So like I said, Alice is from zooming in from Canada. Some of you are local, some of you are far away. So in the chat box, just right. So Virginia is from Marietta, California. I know Sandy Olson's from Orange County. Debbie is from San Clemente. Great, Debbie. Brett is from Redlands. Ruben is Santa Ana. And Sandy, yep. Bill Popko is Claremont. St. Louis. So Jackie's zooming in from St. Louis. So it's 3 hours later, right, Jackie? You're East Coast, 2 hours, 2 or 3. Wait, let me move this. How many? 1, 2?
Yes, 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, great. Okay, so it is your dinner time. It is your dinner time there. Okay. All right, great. Excellent. So give them in the beginning something really easy that they can write in the chat box, like where they're from. Nobody's, worried about that. That's not personal. Okay, also welcome them. You saw that each time you came in, I stopped and I welcomed you. There is nothing worse, and we've all experienced it at one time or another, where you go into a room and you're sitting there, you're hello, and nobody recognizes, nobody acknowledges you. How many of you have has that happened to? By show of hands, let me stop the share. Yeah, look around you. It doesn't. Hey, there's Jean. Hi, Jean. Jean's from Iowa, right? So, and we got Carmen here. I can't recognize you, Carmen. So you just want to stop and say hello to people as they come in if you can, or as you recognize them. But we've all been into a room and been there and nobody said anything. We're like, are we invisible? Do we have the bag over our head? What's going on? So even, if you have to say, excuse me just a minute, I want to acknowledge somebody who came in the room, do that. Because otherwise it's a horrible feeling to be in a room and nobody knows you're there, right? We wouldn't do that in person. Most of the time we would wave or something. So acknowledge people when they come in. All right, Carmen's from Hollywood. Awesome. Jackie's from Riverside. Alice is from Canada. Connie and both Lisa, they're from my city, Upland, right? Like I said, Lisa's like right down the street. I can walk to her house. All right, so let's go back to sharing. And then there's Benita. Benita's coming in. All right. Benita is a ventriloquist. Hi, Benita. She's an ex-attorney turned ventriloquist. That's a combo, isn't it?
Recovering attorney.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're still an attorney. Yes. All right. All right. So let's go back to sharing our screen. All right. So make sure you welcome your audience no matter what. Comment in the chat box is a way you can welcome them as well. Have them put their city and state in the chat box. Of course, we can use reactions when we have a regular meeting. So again, you can't use reactions when you're sharing. You won't even see it when someone's sharing. So you have to stop the share to do reactions. So everybody do a reaction. Give me a thumbs up or a clap, right? Okay, or they have hearts now. Good, very good, very good. And Bill just is going to go like that, and that's okay too, right? We can see it. Very good. And I love that one, Carmen. I love that little celebration one. I can't wait for them to make more of them. This is what, joy, laughing out loud, that kind of thing. So very good, very good. All right, thank you, Benita. Yeah, Benita's middle name is Joy, so she caught on that one right away. All right, we're going back to share screen. Yeah? What'd you say, Benita?
I was just agreeing.
Okay, great. All right, so we're going back to share, use reactions, raise your hand like Bill went like this, that's good. Or like this, we can see it. See, anytime you're on the screen and you go like this, we can see it. Anybody can see it, the host can see it. So raise your hand if you need to talk or get attention, right? This is the new clapping, right? Turn it like this. I think that's came from sign language. That's how they applause. So that's, I like to go like this, but you'll see people go like this sideways, and that's applause in sign language. Okay, verbal involvement, of course, keep them engaged, and of course, the beloved breakout rooms. But if you're going to use breakout rooms, make sure you be creative. Be creative with your breakout rooms. Don't just send them in there to send them in there. Think of something really fun that they can do. So when I did the breakout rooms for the $1 Million, we did what? A treasure hunt, right? We did a scavenger hunt, treasure hunt, where you went around your office and you gathered some items. Who can tell me what those items were? Anybody remember what you gathered? Who can remember?
I gathered a picture and my dog.
Right, those were your physical things, but it was
Something that you love.
something that you love, right?
Something you're proud of?
Yes, an accomplishment that you're proud of. Perfect. And the third one?
Oh, I did a book. Yeah, I gathered a book.
But the third one was,
Something that makes you laugh.
yes, something that makes you laugh. And look at, Benita's got one of her puppets out there.
That's what I thought. Yep, that's what I had.
Nice. Hi, Claudina. Welcome.
Hi.
Glad
Thank
you could
you.
join us. Welcome. All right. Let's go back. So, and something you love. So be creative. It doesn't have to be those things. Come up with your own that fit your audience and your topic. Okay. So that's enough about breakout rooms. And then of course, quizzes or polls, quizzes or polls. So here's a little quiz for you, and you all should know the answer to this. What is the biggest mistake you have done or you have seen done by a business speaker? Use notes, not knowing their message, no call to action, no stories, or E, all of the above.
All of the above.
Right, very good, very good. Answer is E. And when you learn how to speak right, you will never worry about any of this happening to you. You won't have to use notes or forget stories or not know your message, right? Okay, so the C is for control the stage. And I've said this at the $1 Million, and I will say it again because it is so important. This is, if you remember anything, remember this. In this environment, you control the stage. When you're in a live environment, you do not control the stage, and everybody knows it. So if the speaking space isn't right, or if the lighting is off, or if the microphone doesn't work, nobody blames you, the speaker. They blame the house, the host, the president, but not you. But in this environment, it is up to you. You control it. And you need to, and everybody knows it, and you need to make sure that you're setting the example of what you want to be your everything. And we're going to go through it. So you set the stage. You set the stage. Now for $1 Million, I had signs up, I had my chairs, I had flowers. I set the stage. But doesn't mean that you can't do that every time if you wanted to. I could put signs up, right? You could put a backdrop up, and of course you can use virtual stages if that's your only option. But remember, as a speaker, if you're going to speak with your hands or show anybody something, you're going to disappear. It's going to look weird. Find your light. Make sure that you have proper lighting, whether it's like this, like halo lighting, or like what I have is professional photography lighting. So, and you can't see my lighting. Now I can put glasses on and you don't see the halos like you do from when you're doing the round halos. Sometimes you see them in each eye and it's really creepy looking. So mine are diffused, they're very soft. But if I was to move, right, look at, you can see my light, boop, 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 because I have glass, right? But I just, boop, 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 I'm in front of it, so you can't see it. So set your stage, find your light, and of course, make sure that people can hear you. There's nothing worse than we can't hear you, we can't hear you. And I know these microphones can be kind of big, right? I like it, but if you don't want it in your face, you can kind of move it down a little bit. Right? So see, now it's out of frame, but you can still hear me, right? Right? Okay. So you can, a lot of people,
Right.
Good, thank you. A lot of people use podcasts to, have big podcast boom stands and everything. I have one too, but I find this works just as well. People need to hear you. Take center stage, take the center. You see, I'm in the center of this environment on purpose, right? Now you can be fun and be clever and be over here. I did this a little bit for $1 Million because I wanted to sit in the chair. It was what I wanted, right? The effect, but I wasn't there all the time. I took center stage just like I would in a real live environment. And you have to be careful, right, with ceiling fans, Connie, because the ceiling fans, if we look at them, and some but you don't have to go away, but this is for everybody. When some people that have different, well, how do I say it? Different challenges maybe, that can really mess them up. So don't let them see a ceiling fan going, right? It can really, can really mess somebody up. I've heard that. I haven't experienced it, but someone shared that with me. Made sense. All right, make sure that you are camera ready at all times. What is camera ready, right? Make sure you're dressed. Make sure you have, your best thing going on. Make sure that if you wear makeup, that your makeup is on, and that you look like you would if you stepped outside on stage. And but a lot of people are getting a little sloppy in the virtual environment. But as a speaker, you want to make sure, if you want to just come that way, that's fine. But I'm talking about as a speaker, make sure you're camera ready. I was at an event recently that I was speaking at, and a gal actually came to the meeting without any clothes on. She kept her camera off, but somehow it accidentally went on, and she didn't have anything on from like here. I didn't see anything, but she was an old dear friend of mine. So I chatted with her and I said, "Are you naked?" And then boom, she left the meeting. So you have to come camera ready all the time, because you never know. You might make a mistake and turn on your camera, right? Okay, there's some spoofs about Zoom, and there was a girl that was on, she was at a meeting on Zoom, and her husband or boyfriend or whatever came out of the room behind her, right? And he was in his underwear. So she's like, turns around and tells him, "I'm on Zoom, get back into the room." He turns around and boom, hits his head right on the doorway and falls back. And we could see this happening, It was hilarious, but not for him, I'm sure. But you have to be careful where you're going to put your camera and your computer, because you never know. All right, so be camera ready. Let me show you a little bit about what camera ready means to me. All right, so in areas with cowboys, and I've seen some cowboys in my day when I was really young, and they were herding some cattle across a dirt road in Texas. When I was 18, I was visiting my grandmother. And I'm telling you, that was a sexy sight, ladies. And it all has to do with their hats, right? Their hats. So if you see a cowboy and he has his hat down like this, that means that he is threatening. He's going to shoot you. Excuse me. But if it's back too far, like some of the guys in Oklahoma, then it looks aloof or goofy. You don't want that. But what you do want, let me get a drink. But what you do want is the hat to be just right, because that says friendly. So if you're positioning yourself in the middle of your screen and you're leaning forward, that is the camera, and looking at the camera, that is the camera position friendly, just like I am now. Now, I happen to be standing up because I believe in standing up when you speak, but if you don't have a desk that raises, sitting down, you could do the same thing. Middle of the screen, lean forward, and look directly in the camera. That's a camera-friendly position. All right, the T, we're spelling out actions, so you might want to write down that word if you haven't already. The T is for trust and rapport, which is very important to move your audience to action. If you don't build that trust and rapport, then they're not going to do anything, no matter what. And it is harder to move people to take action in this environment. Now, if you hear an idea, ladies and gentlemen, I'm expecting to see some of these paddles go up that say millions. Or if you hear something that's really cool, I want to see that's cool. Got it? When I say got it, you say got it, I say good. Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
Got it.
Awesome. All right, so trust and rapport. Now, dress professionally, of course. as a speaker, but I would recommend it anytime you come to Zoom or any kind of meeting on Zoom anyway, not necessarily trainings like this, but if you're in a networking meeting, always a good idea. Greet people by name, right? As you saw me do. Share your professional story always when you speak, even if it's 5 minutes, you want to do a little bit of it. Be excited about your topic or nobody else is going to be. Look directly into the camera when you speak and smile, even if you can't see everybody, right? Because if you're using PowerPoint, you're not going to be able to see everybody. So smile just as if you're looking at people one by one, and always say please and thank you. So if you ask to talk a little bit about yourself and people say yes, go ahead, say thank you. Got it? Have fun and be fun. Now this is a big one in Zoom, and we've all seen this. So you want to have fun and be fun. So use some different tools, right? Like this is one I use, right? I see Brett, I see Ruben, I see Dr. Kathy, I see Bill, I see Debbie, I see Connie, I see Benita. I don't see Carmen anymore, but I know she's there driving somewhere. So just have some fun. Have some fun and be a little crazy. There's Carmen. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you. Oh, what are you in? A convertible there, girl? Or is that a sunroof? Right?
No, I'm driving and then I went to Del Taco to eat, and so I'm eating right now.
Good for you. Good for you. All right. Okay, and yeah, and see, Benita's got her big, that's a big puppet. How many puppets do you own? I keep seeing a new one every time I see you. How many? I can't hear you.
But she's muted.
Yeah, I wish they would let us unmute people, but they don't. I can only ask to, yeah,
A couple dozen, several dozen probably.
several dozen. Do you make them all yourself?
No, I wish I did, but I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, they look,
I had a cousin who made ventriloquial figures for a living. That's how I got inspired. He lived in Denver. He was famous worldwide as not a performer, but a maker.
got it. All right. Thank you. It's always
He was
good
a mentor to Terry Fader.
to meet a new friend. It's always good to meet a new friend. Okay, back to our PowerPoint. So have fun, be fun, and then make sure, of course, that everybody can hear you. And now we're ready for the next quiz. By adding public speaking to my business, it will provide more visibility for my business. True or false? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. True or false? Let me call it up. All right. Okay, hold on. I'm getting all crazy here. All right. True, true. C. What? We don't have a C. All right. Let's, the answer is true. People can't buy from you if they don't know you exist. The reason you're not getting more business is because people don't know you. The reason why they don't know you is because you're not committed to speaking. And if you are committed to speaking, then you just need to keep getting trained and become better and better and better, because it's all about getting your message out to the world. It's all about changing people's lives. It's all about, you know, whatever you've gone through can help somebody else to go through it or that's going through it right now. And as human beings, it's our duty to help people and to end their suffering and to give them hope. As a speaker, you're selling hope all the time. Hope, hope, hope. So your message will give somebody else hope. All right, so invite your audience to take the next step. That's the I in action. Invitation. Invitation to do business with you. So how are we going to do that? Now, all these things move people to action, and this is the action. Now, it's up to you what action you want your audience to take. I'm going to give you some examples. So you can ask them to come to a strategy session or a coaching session, or if you're a fitness trainer, maybe a sample fitness training, anything to get with them one-on-one. 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Don't be afraid to give away some of your time. Now, I'm not saying you're going to coach them, but during the strategy session, This is where you're going to find out what they need, what they want, what are their desires, and then if you can give it to them, you give it to them. If not, then you make a recommendation to somebody else. But this is for you to ask some questions, some real serious questions about their business and about what they want to do. What is their goal? What are the outcomes they want to achieve? And then take a look at them and see if it's a right fit for you. You can offer a free gift. Now we're doing that all over the place online now. We're putting it in the chat box so you can send them to a free download. This is what's called lead gen. So lead gen, you get them, but again, you've got to get them to take action. So how would I get them to take action on these kind of items? It's called seeding, SEEDING, seeding. I would seed it during the talk. So in a little bit, I'm going to give you an opportunity to sign up for a free strategy session worth a couple $100, and then we can review where it is you'd like to go and what you'd like to do, that kind of thing. Or in a little bit, I'm going to give you this gift that I'm talking about in a little bit. So hang on to that. So you're kind of preparing them for what is coming. That will increase them taking action. The more you kind of seed it without overdoing it, the more they're apt to take action. All right, email you. You can have them email you, right? Email me if you would like a free copy of my book, Speak Up, Get Clients. And then you would, of course, put the email in there. In the old days, we would say that this was a free raffle, right? Where we would give away a gift and collect business cards and then give something away. But we can't necessarily do that in this environment. It's a little harder and we won't get 100%. Where before we almost always got 100% of the cards because the person next to you, it was like you were accountable to them. And if they saw you not doing a card, I mean, how would that look? So everybody would just automatically give you a card. Not the same today. So if you have 50 people on a call, you're not going to get 50 requests for emails or 50 people going to your offer or asking for strategy. It just is not going to happen. But these are some ideas. Okay, they can call you. You could put your phone number in the chat and get them to call you. Text you. I use this one quite often. But you have to have a text list I like to put them in a text list and then automatically text them. But you can personally have them text you. I've done that for calls to action. So like and some of you have been to it, but I have a Create Your Speech in a Weekend. And that's a $2,000 course. But I've dropped it because of COVID to $997. So I don't have a page for that, right? So I can't send you to a page because that would be $2,000. So instead I say, if you want in, text me. First 5 people that text me that they want in get in the program. And Bill Popko took it, Lisa took it, several of you took that course because it was a while back, a few months back, and I was just inspired to do it in a weekend and to drop the price. But again, so you can be creative and clever, and but again, get them to move to action. And then of course you can also tell them to look you up on social media, but that's really like spaghetti on the wall. That's kind of far-fetched unless you're using something specific in social media, like go to this particular group and join it, right? Go to my public speaking mastery group and join it. I do a live in there once a week or something like that. So the more specific you are, the more apt people are going to move to action. And of course, you can always have them visit your website if you have something that they can opt in. So on my website, if you go there and opt in, now you're all on my list, obviously, but this is just a demonstration. But if you go to my website, you would get little video tips that are 30 seconds long once a week on all kinds of public speaking tips. Right? And you get them for a whole year. There's 52 of them there. All right. And then, of course, you can always put in a link inviting them to another event, whether it be a webinar or some other kind of event or a summit, whatever event you know about or have going on. So that's the I. So all of you, I did this. This is a demonstration. I did do this at the $1 Million Speaker Summit. If you didn't sign up yet, you want to do that. And the way you sign up is is text, just put the number in. I know it looks kind of opposite now, but put the number in for the phone number and then text by name. This will go on a very special list, a very specific text list. But this is a great thing to do to build your list and to lead gen if you're in this environment. But again, you have to have a texting service. Okay. Now the O is for over deliver without overwhelming. See, this is kind of overwhelming right here. So in other words, we don't want to turn on the fire hose and just go, right? But we want to give enough information that people are full, but they're not stuffed like Thanksgiving Day, right? But that they can have some dessert. So over deliver without overwhelming. And again, always now, I just love the ability to be able to use my own PowerPoints, my own pictures, and my own videos, because on stage most of the time, unless it's your room, it's very challenging to be able to do that. And so you can't use those tools. And this is one of the videos I did show at $1 Million, and Sandy, you've seen it too, but I just love it because if you can use a funny video, you've got it a lot more. Inspirational or funny, those are the two best videos to use.
We don't have any sound, Arvee.
Oh, you don't? Oh, well, now you tell me. Thank you. All right, so here's what happens. When you share, and I forgot to do that because I was unsharing and stuff. When you share, remember you have to click on that share computer sound. Remember?
Oh.
Right, if you don't, yeah, and you could do your, see, I can't hear it because I've got this plugged in. When you have your microphone plugged in, you're not going to hear your own video. So that's why I didn't know it.
Oh.
Got it? So I would have to unplug it, which means I have to leave the stage, which is not good. Right? So always remember when you share, you have to click that little button that says share audio. And if you are a guest in somebody's room, do just what Jackie did for me. Have my back and say, we can't hear you. You know, this is, we're all learning these tips and tricks. So thank you, Jackie.
All the boys are calling, crazy girl. I hope she sings this tonight. I know. Hey, Dad, pull over. We need gum.
I'm on it. Oh, honey? Here's some money.
What do we got here?
Hello.
Oh.
Patient has a fractured fibula. Given him a mild sedative. So he can be able to go home tomorrow.
Daddy's gonna be so excited.
All good. That killed him.
Pager Dr. Paul.
There has to be one with a dog in it.
Look at the cute dog.
Look at him. Oh, no. All right. So use video, and of course you can use it for video testimonials as well. And you've heard this. And again, I just took this on my phone at a meeting. You can do this.
Hi, my name is Gail Gajardo, and I took Arvee's class, and oh my gosh, my life has been transformed. Using the simple math equation that she shows us on how many presentations to do per week and translate it to how many clients and leads that it generates and how much each client is worth, I am now making $60,000 a month. And I'm going to continue to be her student, and I'm so excited, and I just want to let you guys know this really works. Thank you.
So it used to be for testimonials, we would have to have the person come or it would be written. But now in this medium, we can, just have them send us. You don't even have to be with them. You could say, hey, Jackie, would you send me a testimonial real quick, right? Hey, Dr. Kathy, send me on your phone and send it to me. Boom, and you've got it, right? Okay. The N in action is for naked authenticity. Naked authenticity. Now people want to know who you are, what you stand for. They want you to be real. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Just stand in your power. Stand in your faith. Stand in what you believe in. Stand in your core values. And don't try to be politically correct, because those people now will resonate with you. And then those are the people that will take action. And those are the people you want as clients anyway. So always stand in whatever it is you believe in, your own beliefs.
Hey, Arvee,
Yes.
I have a question. There's two of us. Oh, I thought there was. That thing about be real and authentic, and yet whenever if you have everything professional quality and the like TV studio quality, is that real and authentic? I mean, I know you don't like people in cars doing videos, but sometimes there's people walking around, and I have a friend, she'll be in her painter's clothes and sweating and all this stuff, and I love it because it's real. But she has had people tell her, oh, you need to be more professional. And I'm like, oh, I love it because it's so real. She'll just be in her studio and sweat dripping off and her hair all, what do you say about that? Because you're into the professional looking.
Well, is she a speaker or is she?
Yeah, she is a speaker. She's also a professional artist and does big paintings that are in art galleries. So she does both, but her videos, she might be given a little tour or show a project she's working on, or walking in the woods, or showing a pet.
Well, I'm just going to give you my opinion, but she isn't a speaker. She's an artist. That's what you said. So we're always something first, right? So for her, if she's an artist, then yeah, she should probably, wear her bohemian clothes. Not that there's anything, and I don't mean that as a negative, but whatever artist, they wear those flowing hippie kind of clothes, and that's her. And she should help people around. So I would say, yes. Now, she could clean it up a little bit and be a little bit more professional in terms of maybe there's not sweat dripping down her face, but
I love it because it's so real. And to me, that builds almost more rapport than having the same look and image all the time. And, she'll have her white t-shirt with drips of paint, and I don't know. It's like,
she's, like you said, she's an artist first, and she just happens to be doing some lives or some videos, then that's fine. When I'm mostly when I talk about being real, I'm talking about inside.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about who you are,
your
what
values,
you believe in, what your faith is, what your core values are, like honesty and integrity. and being of your word. I'm talking about that kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, not so much, you know, the outward, but although that matters too. But again, if you're going to speak, I'm always going to lean toward the side of professional. Be yourself, wear your clothes, but I would wear the nicer self, just out of respect to your audience. So I wonder if she might get a little better response or more views if she was in her artist clothes, but maybe they were her Sunday best artist clothes, you know, flowing and artistic, but that she cleaned it up a little bit. That
She does a daily video about 5, sometimes 10 minutes, and she gets regular people. I mean, I don't know.
okay, then she's cool. Then it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't make any difference. So good. All right. So be, you know, again, be yourself. Be real, be nakedly authentic just means don't try to be politically correct to soften people's feelings when you speak. I'm not saying you need to talk politics or anything like that or different views. I'm just talking about if you believe in God, don't call him the higher power or source. That's all I'm saying, okay? You stand in your power and your beliefs on stage, and those people that are attracted to that will resonate with you and see you and, you know, work with you and buy from you and that kind of thing. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Benita. All right. So S, and again, we're spelling actions. We're almost done. We're going to be done on time. And the S is for sell with stories. I've said this before. I'll keep saying it. Stories act as invisible selling. Make sure that you add stories about your clients, success stories, people, and every, you know, and your own successes. On my PowerPoint, you see I have a lot of people's success stories, and and you don't need to have, you know, a gazillion of them. Pick 2 or 3 and tell them over and over and over again. Okay, share the same stories. You hang around me long enough, you'll see I share the same stories, and a lot of other speakers that I know do as well. But you want to tell stories. Okay, why? Because stories open the hearts of your listeners, and I believe that there's a direct open link between open pocketbook and open heart, right? The heart opens and the pocketbook opens. All right, so there are 4 different kinds of stories that you must add to your presentation, true or false. Let's put that in the chat box. True or false? True or false? Okay, true or false? All right, let me see the chat. True, 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 A, true. Yes, 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 true. And you already know what they are actually, but for those that don't remember what they are, I will share them, the 4 stories to open the hearts. Your professional story, which is the story about you that earns you the right to be speaking. The success story, which is a story about a client that's worked with you and what they are able to do. And then a story with a lesson, which is, we never tell the lesson, remember? And then an emotional story, a funny story, something to get them to laugh, or it could be a story on a video. All right? So a lot of you heard the story about my husband. He's the emotional stories don't have to be a boohoo story, a sad story. They can be a funny story, right? So my husband's a bum magnet, and wherever we go, he attracts people, the homeless, asking him for money, even though they say, well, you know, I came here to visit a friend, and now I need money to get home. And my husband's always like, you know, well, why didn't your friend take you home? But he gives them money anyway. So one time we were at Bonds, the grocery store, and one of the homeless guys outside the door stopped him and stopped both of us, but really was talking to my husband. And he said, so what is the greatest nation in the world? And my husband said, well, it's the United States, of course. And the homeless guy said, no, it's donation. And so my husband gave him $20, you know. So think of things that happen to you in your everyday life that you could create into a story. All right. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Jenny because you've heard about Jenny, most of you. So I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go to, as I want to keep us on time. Okay, and we know about Lorena. Lorena spoke at the $1 Million Speaker Summit, and she now, after working with me in the $1 Million Mastermind, has gone to online selling and bundling of products, and now she has a do-it-yourself micro needling kit that she sells for a couple $100 online. And now that she's been speaking, she's been selling a ton of those, and then she doesn't have to be involved. So there's always ways that you can adapt in any environment. All right, so let's come back. We're just going to end now, but I just want to give all of you the, what it is in case you missed some of them. So again, we're trying to move, we're moving people to take action. And all these steps have to come into play, especially in the virtual environment. You need to have audience participation and have them be actively listening. Because you're competing with everything in their home or their office. You want to be camera position friendly so that they want to look at you. You want to build that trust and rapport. Make sure you have an invitation to take the next step. Provide overwhelming value. Be nakedly authentic. And of course, always sell using stories to do the selling for you. All right. So my secret speaker success formula, it wouldn't be a webinar if I didn't give you another formula. And that is, again, number one, knowledge and passion. You're going to speak about what you're passionate about, what you're knowledgeable about. You always want to continuous speaking improvement by getting trained, and find your own platform or stage, whether it's in Zoom, GoToWebinar, or maybe it's a small venue somewhere that they're letting people come. Whatever that is, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's Facebook Live. Whatever it is, find your platform where you're comfortable on and start delivering speeches or lives or videos. All right, and take immediate action. So, and I'm going to give you a chance to take immediate action in just a minute. And then, of course, use a proven speaker system, and hopefully that is mine. Now, what I want you to do in the chat box right now, let me just double check this. Oh, and I'm going to give a bonus. I want you to put in the chat box what kind of action you're going to take now. After you saw this today was all about taking action for your audience. But what action are you going to take? Right? Maybe you're going to read a book. Maybe you're going to write a book. Maybe you're going to at least think about putting on a podcast. Maybe you're going to dabble in Facebook Live. Maybe you're going to take some more training. What are you going to do? Put that in the chat box, because we want to constantly take action. We want to constantly create. And people that work with me know I'm all about content creation, but I'm also all about repurposing. We're going to repurpose that everywhere, so that you're not just doing a Facebook Live. No, we put that on your blog. We put that up on YouTube. We put that up on Vimeo. I mean, we repurpose everything. Why? So that you gain visibility. Because remember what we first said, if you are invisible and nobody knows you exist, then they're not going to know to come to you, and you're the one person that can solve their problem. So it's up to you to gain visibility by speaking. Step out there on stage. There are people that are waiting for your words. They're waiting to hear from you. They're looking for you. Your tribe is looking for you. Your community is looking for you. They can't find you because you're so quiet. You're silent. It's time to step it up. Especially now we've got this great opportunity to reach people in different countries. It's just so exciting. So let me go to the chat. Let me see what some of you have written. All right, let's see. Okay. Get more training. Yes. Let me go up a little bit. Okay. Record more videos. Do more Facebook Lives. Watch day 2 of this webinar. Thank you, Sandy. I'm going to say yes for the talk that they offered me that I couldn't because of mic fear. Honey, we don't need fear to stop us from doing anything. All you have to do is get some training, come and see me, reach out to me. Don't ever let that stop you. All right, so find the platform, more training, good. Get more training, work on speech, doing more videos. Yes, thank you, Virginia, absolutely. Saturday, I started doing a short Facebook Live daily with the intention to do one every day by the end of October. Excellent. Awesome. All right, so here's the thing. Here's one thing that I did, a tip that I'm going to tell you about Facebook Live, and then I'm going to give you a bonus tip. So Facebook Live, I would do a Facebook Live almost every week. Sometimes I'd miss, sometimes I wouldn't, right? Sometimes it was motivating, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes I was dressed up for it, sometimes it was a shower day, and sometimes it wasn't, right? So what I did is, because I know you have to be consistent on all these platforms, you have to be consistent. So what I did is I set out and I said, okay, I'm going to do 21 speaking success principles. And so I mapped it out. So again, Bonita, you want to do this. Don't just arbitrarily, or what's going to happen is you won't do it. I would come up in the morning, go, what am I going to talk about today on my Facebook Live, right? I couldn't think of anything. But I mapped it all out, 21 days, 21 principles, and then I got excited. I got up in the morning, I had to take a shower, no options, right? I had to get ready, and then boom, I looked at my sheet and I went, ooh, today is about acronyms. Yay, I'm gonna do acronyms. And then I would be excited about it. And I banged those out in 21 days. And then I downloaded them from Facebook, loaded them up to YouTube, and then from YouTube, I loaded them, some of them, not all of them, into my blog. So again, repurposed. I hope that was $1 million idea for you, ladies and gentlemen, millions, right? That will put you on the track to be consistent. All right, let me give you the bonus, and then I'm going to let you go. Bonus tip. So when you're a speaker or leader in a Zoom meeting, how do you step on stage is important. Have a set time to enter. Enter with your video off. Ask to be put in the waiting room till it's time for you to speak. And ask the host to mute everyone and put you either on speaker view or spotlight view, right? So that's what you want to do as a speaker. All right, so we've got about 1 minute. So if there's any questions, I'm going to entertain the questions now. And I've got literally, because I have another class that's right after this at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to need to leave. But is there any questions about what we covered so far? Yes, Virginia.
Yeah, can I just take a quick look at trust and rapport slide so I can take a picture?
Oh boy, that was so long ago.
Oh.
All right, let me. Now, how do you say your name? Anish? I'm sorry, I'm messing up your name. Anisha? I don't know. Anybody want to give that an attempt there for me? Okay, let me.
Aisha.
Aisha, that's a pretty name. Beautiful name. Okay, let me go back to my PowerPoint for a moment. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have enough time for this, Virginia, because I've got my other class.
I just wanted to take a picture of it.
Well, I mean, it was way back in the beginning. It was number T. Let me see if I can do it this way. Maybe that's better. Control the stage. Where is my trust and report? Here. Okay.
Okay.
Can you take a quick picture?
Yeah. Done.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you learned at least one new idea to make millions. And we will see you Thursday at the same time and wrap this up. And I'm actually going to have you pick which action you want your audience to take and practice it. Sound good? So Aisha, is that how to say your name? Aisha?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty name.
Yeah.
So again, I will put something together for you so that you won't let that microphone scare you away again. And again, the way you can stop fear is one way is to get trained, right? Get trained, learn what you're doing. If we weren't trained as to drive a car, we would be scared to death. And there's a lot of people that don't drive, they're scared to death. Why? Because they never got trained, right? So it just takes training and everything. Jean, did you have a question?
Nope, I was saying bye.
Yeah, it's 4:01, so we all got to go. So bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Bye. Thanks, Arvee. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.